Well, aloha, guys. My name is Ameera Beth, and I have a crystal infused sacred geometry clothing company called Wisdom Wear. So, what is crystal infused sacred geometry? Well, we take beautiful crystals, these are known as andaras, and micronize them into dust and mix them with the ink and then screen print sacred geometry onto organic bamboo and cotton clothing. So part of my purpose and my mission for Wisdom Wear is to also teach people about sacred geometry, about how special it is, about how powerful it is, and how it can enhance your life. So in my first video, I talked a little bit about Wisdom Wear and the vision of Wisdom Wear and kind of some of the basics about sacred geometry. So I'm going to take these videos, one at a time, and break down all the different kinds of sacred geometry that is out there, that is available to us. Just talk to you a little bit more in depth about what it is, so that when you are working with sacred geometry, or when you are wearing my clothing, you have a better working knowledge of how amazing sacred geometry is for all of us. So I'm going to start with Metatron's cube. Archangel Metatron and I are pretty good friends. This is a depiction of Archangel Metatron. He is like the grandfather of all the archangels. And so he holds a geometric configuration, a sacred geometry configuration called Metatron's cube. And this is what he places around everything he creates for God. So how does this create for God? What does that mean? So you might be familiar with someone called Plato, the philosopher Plato, who discerned long, long ago that there were 5 basic shapes that comprised all of our physical reality. So 5 basic geometric shapes that we have everywhere around us that comprise our physical world. And they are the cube, which is associated with the element of earth, the tetrahedron, which is fire, the octahedron, which is air, the dodecahedron is spirit, and the icosahedron is water. So all 5 of the platonic solids are associated with an element. All 5 of those geometric configurations are found in Metatron's cube. And in addition to the 5, there is the Merkaba and the flower of life. So Metatron's cube really hosts everything in one beautiful configuration that comprise everything in our physical world. So when you break down Metatron's cube, you can see here the Merkaba, right, which is also the tetrahedron. And you can see the octahedron. And you can see in here a cube. And you can see the dodecahedron and the icosahedron if you really tune in closely and meditate on Metatron's cube. All these shapes will kind of begin to emerge. Metatron's cube also holds 13 spheres. So 13 spheres, the 13 spheres are feminine. So think about 13 being the goddess number and 13 being also the moon cycles in a year. And so the 13 spheres have these lines that penetrate them, and the lines are the masculine. And every line has a destination, and that destination is the feminine or the sphere. So it's very reflective of the balance of the masculine and feminine. And I even compare it to, the sperm and the egg. The sperm, when it's released from the masculine, has to have a destination, and the destination is the feminine or the egg. And so as all these lines penetrate or go into the spheres, into the feminine, that's where expansion happens. That's where life happens. So just like the sperm would penetrate the egg of the woman to create a third, to create life, this is reflective. Metatron's cube is reflective of us on a microcosmic level, on a human level, reflected in a cosmic level. So 13 is also the number of mastery. It's the number of spiritual mastery. It's the number of chakras that we have in our auric field. our major chakras. We have 13. And if you think about, you know, the number 12. So Jesus had 12 disciples. And the Knights of the Round Table, there were 12 of them. But what happened when we brought in the 13th, or the Master, Jesus Christ, or King Arthur? You end up with the 13, and 13 being the master. So 13 is a master number. There are 13 spheres in Metatron Cube, and there are 13 chakras that align inside our human auric field. So it's no coincidence that this was given to us to help us with ascension, to help us with our personal, spiritual, individual, collective growth. Metatron's Cube happens to be my favorite geometric pattern. I have some great shirts, and this one I'll just show you actually has the platonic solids in the exterior spheres of the shirt. So you can see here, you can see the octahedron and the dodecahedron. Sorry, you know what I mean, all the way around, the tetrahedron, the cube, and then inside the interior can also see the different geometric patterns emerging. Right in here, you see this. This is actually called the seed of life. And so the seed of life is created from 7 interlocking circles that build upon each other, and 7 is the number of creation. So Metatron's Cube actually holds all of it. And so how does that help us? How does sacred geometry help us in general? Sacred geometry aligns us with the blueprint of creation. It aligns us with that creative force of God that actually is us. The shapes are transcendental. So even if you don't know what sacred geometry is, what they mean, it doesn't matter, because the shapes, the solid, the platonic solids, all of sacred geometry belongs to all of us. So when you wear any sacred geometry configuration, particularly when we wear Metatron's Cube, because Metatron's Cube really hosts all of them, you're aligning yourself with that blueprint of the creative force of the universe. And so I will encourage you to explore a little bit more on your own if you would like to. Archangel Metatron. In Metatron's Cube, also in the 13 spheres, all the archangels hold a position in the spheres as well. Metatron is at the top, and Sandalphon is at the bottom of something we also call the Tree of Life, which is also inside of Metatron's Cube. So thank you for watching this video. You can find Wisdomware at wisdomware.org. We have great organic clothing for men and for women, lots of different styles, lots of different colors. Here, I'll just show you one other men's version of Metatron's Cube right there. Okay, lots of colors, lots of different styles, and I feel it's really important to teach people to keep sacred geometry in your energy field, because it really does give you a wonderful vibrational boost. It interconnects all of us, and Wisdomware, we actually have a vision to dress 144,000 people in our Crystal Infused Sacred Geometry clothing. We feel that when we reach that number, 144,000, because that's the ascension number in the Bible, that collectively, because we're interconnected through the crystals and the geometry, we're going to create a tipping point for the collective of this planet. I really believe and walk in that with all my heart. Every time somebody purchases a shirt or a dress from me, I really know and honor that there's one more person becoming one of the 144,000 who are changing the collective. Hope you enjoyed this video and learned a few things. Find us at wisdomware.com, or you can reach out to me personally. My email is on the website. I'd love to chat you up about sacred geometry, crystals, or any questions that you might have. Peace, love, aloha, Wisdomware.